Greetings to everybody. How are you today? Welcome to our Q&A live question and answer session. If you have any question, now is the time to let me know. Please send your question in one at a time. Please be precise and brief if possible, and I will try to answer them for you. Let me know if this is your first time, where you come from. If this is the first time you join our meeting, please let me know where you come from. How is the audio? Can you hear me all right? Okay. I shall begin with your comment, reading your comment. Hi,ท่านอาจารย์. This is Karen from San Jose. Can you see my post? Yes, definitely. Hello to you. Greetings to you. Welcome to our meeting again. If you have any questions, please send them in now. James Ong, Satu, Satu. Sawan Te, Satu, Satu. Guat Mien Lo, greetings Ajahn. Greetings to you. Su Liu, Satu, Satu. Adi Aha, Satu. Gimbun Chu, Satu, Satu. David Sila Nanda, Satu, Satu. Yok Sim Tan, Satu, Satu. Chinese character, Satu, Satu. Meal on meditation. Perfect sound and video. Thank you. Sue Kelly. Yeah, sounds good. Glad I could join you this time. Glad to hear from you again. I hope you find your way back to San Jose. Prayer Guru Patimok Kovid. Namaskar, Venerable Master. Greetings to you. Kenneth Hunt. Good morning,ท่านอาจารย์. Always clear. Thank you very much. Okay. If you have any questions, send them in now. We have about 1 hour for this meeting. So please let me know what you want to ask me. Anuma Kelboa, Satu. Gimbun Chu, Satu. Christine Zhu, Satu, Satu. Acha Suntan Pitak, Satu, Satu. Andok Wu, hello Ajahn. I'm from Vietnam. What do you think of the ADHD diagnosis? It's a popular diagnosis in the USA, but not much in other parts of the world. What should I do if I suspect I have it? Many people said meditation helps, but I think we need more than that. I'm really sorry, I don't know anything about ADHD, so I cannot help you in this regard. Meditation can help calm your mind and bring your mind back to normal. If it's something wrong with your mind, meditation can help. But you have to be persistent and you have to be patient, because it might take a lot of time before you can see any result. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about ADHD diagnosis. Aye, sadhu, sadhu. Today is quite cool in Thailand. The weather drops to about below 20 below. So it's probably normal over in the West, but here it's considered to be cold. And it only happens a few days, once a year. In a few days' time, it will be gone, and we'll be back to more warmer weather. Jimmy Ong, sadhu, sadhu. And Dabru, thank you, Ajahn, sadhu. You're welcome. Doing Wat Wrong, can meditation kill mental illness? Yes, if it's mental illness, meditation can cure. But it's probably difficult for someone who is mentally ill to practice meditation in the first place. But if he or she can, then eventually they can be back to normal. Because all of us have some type of mental illness. Dukkha or suffering is the result of our mental illness. And they are caused by our restlessness and agitation, by our cravings and our desire. If we use mindfulness and wisdom, we can get rid of them, and our mind can be back to normal, having no suffering. Asana Chunhasevi, good morning, Prajan. I'm still focusing on mindfulness, and 3 characteristics on the daytime. Try to set my mind still. Okay, go ahead, keep on doing it. One day you will be able to control your mind. Keep your mind calm and peaceful all the time. Lam, sadhu. Pauline soon. What is the meaning of original dependent that can help in meditation? Dependent origination is the way how the delusion lead the mind to do things. When you have delusion, your mind will be hungering, craving for sensual pleasure. So your mind will then think about seeking for sensual pleasure. By sending the mind to connect to the sensual organs of the body, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. And then when the sensual objects come into contact with the sensual organs, the mind can perceive these sensual objects and have feeling arising from contact of the sensual objects. Having feelings then will stimulate desire or cravings. And craving, desire will stimulate attachment. Attachment will stimulate longing for more. When longing for more, then it will then stimulate seeking for rebirth. Having rebirth, you will have aging, sickness, and death as the result. This is the chain of event, starting with Abhijato or delusion or ignorant. With wisdom, you can then stop this delusion by realizing that there is no happiness in this world. The real happiness is inside the mind that is peaceful and calm. So you turn inside, backward. You come inside the mind by meditation and keeping the mind inside with wisdom. Then you will have no rebirth, no aging, sickness, and death to follow. Sherman Lim, Sadhu, Sadhu. Siddhartha Surya Mehta. Good afternoon, Ajahn. I would like to ask some tips so I can be more with my mantra recitation so that the mind does not stray to a trance-like state. In addition, it will be helpful if you can also give some example when we chant a mantra absent-mindedly, because sometimes I cannot clearly recognize whether I am chanting with full mindfulness or not. Thank you so much. Sometimes you can be chanting, but at the same time your mind will be thinking about something else. Then this is considered not to be mindful. To be mindful, you should be only chanting and not thinking at all. In order to do this, you might have to chant slowly or recite slowly first. Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. And then try to be mindful of your thoughts. Make sure that your mind don't stray to think about other things. When it does, you should bring it back to Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto again. So you might have to start slowly first, reciting the mantra slowly. You don't need to do fast. Fast or slow is not important. The important is not to let your mind think about other things. This is about all that I can explain to you. Kenneth Hunt, dear Ajahn, I recently heard the Thai phrase Dhamma Jat San. Could Ajahn please explain what this means? Thank you. I use this word as Dhamma provider. Dhamma is the provider of everything. Whatever happens to you, whatever lets you do things is considered to be Dhamma Jat San. Dhamma provides you, let you do things, not your own volition, not your own desire, but the Dhamma or the circumstances is the one who initiate or bring you the things to you. You don't have to go look after them. If it's the time for you to have them, they will come to you. This is what I mean by Dhamma Jat San. Jat San means arranging for you. Dhamma is the arranger of things. Everything that happens to you, everything that you do by Dhamma Jat San, not doing by volition. But normally, without ubekha, we tend to do things out of our volition, out of our desire and our cravings. But if you have strong equanimity, strong ubekha, you can let Dhamma arrange things for you, which is better, because this is the natural way. You don't have to go look for things. They come to you. You don't have to look for things to do. There will be things for you to do. So this is what I mean, Dhamma Jat San. Like what I am doing to you right now, I consider it to be Dhamma Jat San, because I have never planned to do this thing at all in my lifetime. Things just happen. When things just happen by itself, this is what called Dhamma Jat San. I hope this will explain to you what I mean by Dhamma Jat San. Jat San means arranging. Dhamma is the nature, the natural way of things. Dhamma Jat San. Things come to you without you having to go look for them. Lim Ho, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Christine Kutkowski, do you think that some people can remember their past life? I think so. Stay well and at ease. Yes, definitely. If you have strong memory, especially those who practice meditation, some can attain to this level of memory in which they can trace back their past lives, like the Buddha and some of his noble disciples. But it doesn't mean that everybody will have this ability, even if they meditate. It just comes natural to some and not to others. But it's not important to know the past or not. What is important is to know the present. To keep things under control in the present is more important than to know what the past was. That's why we have to practice mindfulness to be in the present, so that we can control the present, keep our mind control, keep our mind calm and peaceful and at ease. By the way, thank you for your donation to the family. I think it's very helpful for them. They really need the money. Tony Yip, Sadhu, Sadhu. Ali Hassan, good day and my respect to Ajahn. Good day to you. Pauline soon. Can Ajahn tell little meaning about Abhidhamma? Well, Abhidhamma means higher Dhamma. That's what it means. Abhi means high or big or supreme. Abhidhamma means supreme Dhamma. It is one of the three baskets of teachings of the Buddha. The Tripitaka means the three baskets containing three types of teaching of the Buddha. The first one is called the Vinaya, which is the monastic code for the monks. The second one is called the Sutta. These are the discourses that the Buddha gave to various people at various times. And the third one is Abhidhamma. It's the collection of all the Dhamma that the Buddha had taught. So this is what it means by Abhidhamma. The Abhidhamma doesn't go into the detail as to where or when, under which circumstances the teaching was given. It just talk about the substance of the talk, the Dhamma that the Buddha expounded at each time. And they are then combined and grouped into various groups. Groups of 2, groups of 3, groups of 4, groups of 5, and so forth. Ong Eng Eng, Sadhu, Sadhu. Jean YC. Good afternoon, Ajahn. What is your advice on guiding children on meditation and also guiding them on mindfulness in daily life, 9 to 11 years old? You just have to teach them to be careful. Teach them to know what they are doing at every time, at every step. And this is mindfulness. But this is probably something not easy for children to know. So we usually don't teach children meditation. We teach them morality and dana. Teach your children to be loving kindness, to have loving kindness. Teach them to give, to share what they have with other people. And teach them to be truthful and not stealing and not killing small animals like insects or ants or anything that they can kill. This is more important to children than meditation. So normally meditation is for adults, for people who understand the concept of meditation and wants to calm their mind. For young children, they don't understand this concept, so it's not really useful for them at this time. You should teach them to be kind, to be loving, to be sharing, and not to hurt other people by killing, stealing, or lying. Rina Chi, Sadhu, Sadhu. Sue Kelly. Hi Sue, thank you. Your donation is coming in. It hasn't yet arrived, but when it arrives, I'll let you know. Your second installment of your subscription to the Dhamma talks. Ajahn, if you have time, would you please talk a little bit about renunciation for lay people? Will this apply to giving up things like old hobbies, so I have more time to meditate, for instance? Definitely. It means giving up all the activity that you used to do for pleasure, all sensual pleasure activities, whatever they are, you should stop doing them so that you then will have time to study the Dhamma and then practice the Dhamma teaching, to do the meditation. You should switch any kind of activities that doesn't have anything to do with developing your mind or giving your mind peace and happiness. So anything that you do, whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you taste or smell or touch, if they are for sensual pleasures, you should avoid, you should stop, and then you will then have more time to meditate. Like right now, instead of watching your Netflix show, you can watch the Dhamma talk show instead. Then you have the better understanding of how to meditate. And then you can then meditate properly and achieve results. It's very important to know the exact way to meditate. Once you know, then you can then practice correctly, and then you will then reap the result very easily, very quickly. Calling soon. Can the mind concentrate to body sensation when sitting meditation? Normally we don't use body sensation. We use the breath when we sit in meditation or using a mantra. It's more obvious. The body sensation sometimes is very difficult to feel, and they are not as constant as the breath or the mantra. So it's better to use the breath or the mantra than using the body sensation. You use body sensation only when the painful feeling arises, and you want to teach the mind to study the nature of the painful feeling as being impermanent, as being a natural phenomena, something that you cannot stop, something that you cannot control. If you want to stop or control them, you will have dukkha or mental suffering. If you don't want to have any mental suffering, then you have to leave the painful feeling alone by concentrating on your mantra or on your breath, not to let your mind react to the painful feeling. Then the dukkha or the mental suffering will disappear, and you will be able to live with your painful feeling without having any fear. Pauling soon. Do Dhamma protector exist? Yes, the Dhamma will protect your mind from suffering. Your mindfulness and wisdom will protect any types of mental suffering from arising. But it cannot protect our body. Our body is not under the protection of Dhamma. Our body is under the protection of the law of karma and the natural law of impermanence, in which the body sooner or later will then have to age, sick, and die. Kenneth Tan Keyboard, greetings Ajahn. May you be well and happy. Thank you. Pauline soon. Most of my thinking contains delusion, aversion, and greed. It is right. Make us suffer definitely. Most of our thinking always think with delusion, or aversion or greed. So we have to use wisdom of the Buddha to teach us that nothing in this world is worth having, because everything will sooner or later cause us to have suffering. The best way is to leave them alone. Kiam Tran Satu Satu. Terence T.H. Lee. Ajahn Sakaya Ditti, self-identification view, is the first factor that the Sotapanna eradicate. Can you explain what exactly is Sakaya Ditti? If possible, can you give some examples? Thanks. Sakaya Ditti means thinking that the body is yours, is the self, is you. We come from the mind, and the mind, when it look at the body that it acquire or possess, it thinks that it is itself. Like we think the body is me, is I, is mine. This is wrong, because in truth, your body is not you. Your body cannot be with you all the time. One day, sooner or later, your body will leave you, will be separated from you. So your body and you are not one and the same thing. So anytime you have fear about losing your body, this means you have attachment due to your self-identification view of Sakaya Ditti. If you have no fear of aging, sickness, or death, then you have given up your self-identification view. Kim Nai Tan, Satu Satu. Lian Lim, Satu. Irene Uy, good afternoon. And everyone in the Dhamma, Satu Satu. Joanne Lim, good afternoon, Ajahn. Thank you for your teaching. May you be well and happy. Thank you. Corinne Kaur, good afternoon, Ajahn. Suchart, Satu. Adeline Chin, good afternoon, Tan Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. Bien Tran, dear Ajahn, do we need to learn and understand Abhidhamma in order to meditate? Thank you. You don't have to study the Abhidhamma, because what you study now, when you study the formal foundation of mindfulness, you are studying the Dhamma teaching of the Buddha, that is necessary for your meditation practice. So you don't need to study the Abhidhamma. The teaching that the Buddha taught in the discourses are just as good. They are the same Dhamma, but they just happen to be named differently as being Abhidhamma and Sutta Dhamma, that's all. But they are the same Dhamma. And you don't need to study the whole scripture. All you need to know is how to meditate, how to develop mindfulness, how to sit in meditation. Passi Chung, Satu, Satu. Tane Pui Ian, Satu, Satu. Fat Choi Chong, Satu, Satu. Cornell Kennedy, Vandami Ajahn. 1. How is it the best way to support Sasana as a lay person? The way to support Buddhism or the monastic establishment is to give dana to whatever the monastery needs, the temple needs. But basically, should be just the 4 basic requisites of living. Give support food, support housing, support clothing, and support medicine for the sasana. Because the ordained or monks do not have an occupation, they don't work, they don't work for their 4 requisites of living. They depend on your lay people to support them. How should a new Buddhist monastery set their vision to? A monastery should be a quiet place for meditation practice. That's the real purpose of building monastery, is to have a place for meditators to live and meditate, not to do any other type of activities. Tony Yip, dear Ajahn, good afternoon, hope you are well. I have a question. In the sutta mentioned a person offer to an anagami or above, he or she, their merit will be infinity. But Buddha said everything is impermanent in this world. It won't stay long. So how the merit is become infinity? Well, Ajahn can explain on it. Thank you. Because the merit will cause this person to attain to an anagami level or above an arahant, then they will not return to be reborn in the human world again. They will exist in Nibbana eventually, which is indefinite, forever. But you have to learn Dhamma from them, not just merely giving food or the requisite. It means that having the opportunity to give food and requisite to the noble disciple will enable you to have the opportunity to study from them. And once you study and follow their teaching in your practice, then you will eventually become an anagami or an arahant, which will then cause you not to take rebirth again in this samsara, in these three realms of existence, and remain in Nibbana forever. Jean YC, thank you Ajahn, Sadhu, Sadhu. Dien Nguyen, reading Ajahn, wish you health, thank you for your Dhamma teaching. You're welcome. Pauline Soon, what is the meaning of nature in the context of Buddhists? In Buddhism, we consider everything is natural phenomena. Everything is anatta, sabbe dhamma anatta. Everything is the natural phenomenon. No self exists in any of this phenomenon. It's all natural. No self. So Kelly, yes, now I binge Wat Dhamma flicks. I forgot to tell you I got rid of my ADA fish tank. I gave it to a nice family. I am slowly getting rid of hobbies, etc. Thanks for the clarification. You're welcome. Siddhartha Surya Metta, thank you for your answer. I will follow your advice. When I do walking meditation and I caught my mind started thinking on its own while I was reciting, I paused my recitation and walking to focus more on my mind, to make sure it stopped the thinking. First, sometimes the mind stops thinking directly when I check on it. Sometimes I need to deliberate my recitation strongly to overwhelm the running thought. Only when the mind has stopped the thinking, I then continue the recitation and walking. I did this because sometimes if I do not pause the recitation motion, the thought runs in parallel with my recitation and my walking. Should I be doing this or should I correct it, and whether this kind of approach is applicable while sitting meditation as well? You have to try it out for yourself, and you have to find out by trying it. This is something you will have to try and learn from your practice. But the goal is to stop your mind from thinking, not to think as far as reciting your mantra. So whichever method that you do can stop your mind from thinking, that's the right method for you. Kek Yen So, dear Ajahn, greeting from Penang. What is kasina meditation? Kasina are objects such as colors, such as white color, green color, red color, or yellow color. These are colors that you can use as your meditation object by visualizing this color in your mind, by closing your eyes and then visualize the color of your choice. If you want to use green, maybe before you close your eyes, look at the leaves first. Look at the color of the leaves and remember the color of the leaves, the green color. And then when you close your eyes, visualize this color in your mind. Try to visualize until your mind is completely covered with green color. And then if you can do this and focus on this green color, your mind can be calm and enter into jhana. Kim Nai Tan, thank you Ajahn on the wise advice on nurturing children. You're welcome. Check Ling Tan, this is the first time I have heard of the explanation on Dhamma Jatsan. Great question, Professor Kenneth. Thank you for the wonderful explanation. You're welcome. Punami Tan, good afternoon Bante. I would like to ask before I start to speak out, some people tend to misinterpret my words. I say and do without any bad intention, but why can those people have better understanding? I don't know. You should not worry about them. Let them interpret whatever you say. As long as you have good intention, then that's okay. You cannot expect everybody to understand what you mean when you say something. So just try to say things nicely, maybe. Maybe you're not saying things nicely, and people can misinterpret it to be something bad. So try to be nice. Use good language. Don't use any hostile language. Or deities being one to possess humans. Am I facing this recently? How can I protect myself? It's not possible for other devas or deities to possess a human being. It's just the delusion of the mind. When something happens in the mind of that human being, and then that human being interpreted it to be possessed by devas. But in reality, no deva can possess the mind of other human being or anybody's mind at all. Each mind is independent of other mind. No other mind can possess other mind. It's just the delusion of that mind which interpret things that happen to them as being possessed by devas or deities. I.e. Ajahn, the first time I met Ajahn was on 23rd December 2019. It was like a dream come true. I can't say anything, I'm just amazed. Why does it feel like that? It's just your reaction to something that you like, probably. Like sometimes when we see our idol, somebody we like, we sometimes become filled with emotion. That's all. It's just your mental reaction to things that you like or you hate. Akesh Ketan, good evening, good morning, Ajahn. Wish your body is in good health. Thank you. I feel that as I go deeper in understanding, I am overwhelmed with dukkha without any reason. Nothing helps me. I feel like I reach a dead end with meditation. It only makes more overwhelming sankhara come to surface. It is difficult for me to fulfill my responsibility. I am always trying to escape the present. Please guide. Thank you. This is probably because you are not meditating correctly. Because if you meditate correctly, you should always be in the present, and you should always be able to meet anything that happened in the present. When your mind go into the past or into the future, it means you're not being mindful already. So you probably are meditating without using mindfulness. You should come back and start developing mindfulness first. Bring your mind to keep your mind in the present. Don't let it go thinking about the past or going to think about the future by forcing it to focus on your body action or forcing it with a mantra. Recite a mantra to stop your mind from thinking. Then you will be in the present and your mind will be able to cope with anything that happens in the present without having any thought or sankhara interpreting the reality. Because in truth, the reality doesn't hurt the mind. It's our sankhara, our imagination that hurts our mind. So if we can stop our thought by using mindfulness, then we will not be hurt by whatever happens. So try to develop mindfulness to stop your sankhara, your thoughts. Then there will be nothing to hurt you. It's your sankhara or imagination or interpretation of things that cause you to have problems. If you don't imagine, if you just merely see what you see, merely hear what you hear, they cannot hurt you at all. Pauling soon, there are two ways of practice, that is, concentrate to breath and awareness to mind. Can Ajahn explain this? Well, normally we use concentration of the breath first before we use awareness of the mind. We first need to have samadhi before we can use the awareness of the mind, because our mindfulness is not yet strong enough to observe the mind, so we can only observe the body first. Lao CH, Sadhu, Sadhu. Tan Siu Hong, good afternoon, Tan Ajahn, Sadhu, Sadhu. Can Ajahn explain? First, you have to establish concentration of your body first to enter into jhana. Once you have entered into jhana, then you will be close to the mind itself. So then you can observe the mind. Right now, your mind is outside, is with the body. So you have to concentrate on the body first to calm your mind, to enter into jhana. Once you enter into jhana, then you will be able to see the mind. Then you can observe the working of the mind. And then you can stop the suffering that has been created by the mind. Raymond N.G. Ajahn, during meditation, how to deal with the Vedana at the head. I understand focusing on breathing and mindfulness, but this has been going on for a year. I feel probably not have tumor in my head. Please advise. If it only happens during meditation, then it's probably not the physical problem. It's the mental problem. It's your defilement reacting to your controlling them. So sometimes when you meditate, you might feel painful in some parts of your body, but it only happens when you meditate. When you finish your meditation, this painful feeling disappears. Then it's not physical, it's mental. So you have to accept this is part of your defilement, fighting against you. They're putting up a defense to stop you from meditation. So you should just ignore this pain and just keep concentrating on your meditation object. When your mind becomes calmer, then this feeling will eventually disappear. Wei Sheng Chua, why can consciousness leave the body when alive? That's because it has attachment to this body. It will only leave the body when the body can no longer perform its duty. And it can no longer provide the consciousness with the five 5 sensual objects. When the body no longer functions, then the consciousness will be automatically disconnected from the body. Chinese character, good afternoon, Ajahn. If someone have lots of financial problems and also wanted to settle down to practice, but being bogged by all financial problems, what is your advice for a person like that? Well, you just have to sell everything that you have and pay for your debt. Then go live in the monastery or declare yourself bankruptcy. Then you will then be rid of all your financial problems. Can you do that? Can you live like a beggar? That's what happens when you become a monk. A monk lives like a beggar. He has no possession. All he has is just something to eat once a day and something to wear, just a few pieces of clothing and some place to shelter their body. And if they should get sick, they will rely on some natural type of medicine. They are willing to live in poverty. If you are willing to live in poverty, then financial problem should not be the problem anymore, because you're willing to let all of your possession be repossessed by your debtor. Falling soon, how we practice no self, no happen to me. Don't react. This is the way to protect no self. If somebody says something, don't react with greed, hatred, or anger. Don't react emotionally. This is the way how we practice no self. Or don't act with greed or hatred or delusion. One Vimon. Sadhu, sadhu. Falling soon, how to practice to release pain of sickness using meditation. We cannot release pain with meditation. We can only release the stress that arises with the sickness, which is more severe than the pain of the body. Once we can stop the stress in the mind, then the pain in the body will not be any problem to the mind. Rajiv Gupta, dear Ajahn, when I do meditation, when I try to observe my breath, usually my breath becomes so slow, irregular and random. The out-breath is hardly noticeable. Moreover, when I try to observe my breath, then my breath changes and becomes manipulated. What is the best way to meditate in the scenario, and how to develop concentration in my meditation? Thanks, Ajahn, for your teaching. Just observe the unregular of your breath. Don't try to control your breath to make it regular. Just keep watching it for what it is. That's all. You're just a watcher. Just watch. Don't have to do anything. Don't have to expect it to be regular or random or whatever. Just know it for what it is. Like when you're watching movie or television, you just keep on watching. You don't care what happened in the movie. You don't try to change the movie. So you don't try to change your breath. Just watch your breath like you're watching the movie. Then eventually, when your mind becomes calmer and more mindful, then your breath will become more regular and more easy to observe. So just watch your breath like you're watching a movie. Then you may good day and Sukhi Honto Ajahn, IT digital support team and all in the Dhamma. May Thailand Ajahn and all well, safe, healthy, comfortable, peaceful, happy, and be blessed by the noble triple gem always. Metta from Malaysia. Thank you. Punami Tan, good afternoon, Bante. My Christian friend told me she can sense devil in me. Therefore, her father told her I need help. She said prayers to me and brought Bibles for me. I have faith in Theravada Buddhism, and it has never changed. When she blessed me, I told her I am okay to have faith in Jesus. Please advise. If my concept is wrong, my thoughts are so long, I am not baptized, I can continue my faith in Buddhism and Buddhist studies. Having faith in the Buddha means believing his teaching and follow his teaching. That's all it is. The Buddha and his noble disciples are like teachers. That doesn't mean that that will stop you from having other teachers also. Now when you go to school, you have other teachers to teach you about grammar, about reading and writing, about mathematics and so forth. So if anybody wants to be your teacher, you can listen to them. And if it's good for you, if thing is profitable for you, then you can apply the teaching in your practice. But if you find that it's not good for you, then you don't have to do it. So you can still be a student of the Buddha and his noble disciple, and be student with some other teachers. But you just make sure that their teaching do not conflict. Should their teaching conflict, then you should take the Buddha and his noble disciple teaching instead. If you have to choose. If you don't have to choose between one or the other, then you can take both. But if you find that one is not right, if you're not sure which one is right, then you take the Buddha's teaching, because that's the right one. Alan Lam, what is the reason people have multiple personality disorder? Because they're not mindful. They cannot control their sankhara, their thoughts, the mental fabrication. It's the mental fabrication that creates multiple personalities. But if you have mindfulness, then you can stop this mental fabrication and force it to have only one personality. I.e., thank you, Ajahn. Pauline soon. Can Ajahn tell about my observation to daily activity to improving a wholesome mind? Just keep watching what you do, and from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, concentrate on your body movement and activity. Then your mind will be empty of mental fabrication, and your mind will be calm, peaceful, and empty. Empty of dukkha, empty of stress. Lee Kim Lim, dear Ajahn, Sadhu Sadhu. Siddhartha Surya Metta. All right, I would also like to ask why after I recite the mantra for some time, it becomes so difficult to recite, to form the word Buddha in my mind. Like I have to make a lot of effort to make it appear in my mind sometimes. I almost need to spell it by letters just to complete one word. Maybe by that time you might not need to recite anymore. Maybe try to stop temporarily to see if your thought still arising or not. If your thought is not arising, then you just can be merely observing your body instead. You use the mantra to stop your thinking. So when your thinking stops, you might feel it's difficult for you to recite the mantra. So you can stop the mantra and then keep watching your body if you are moving around. If you are sitting, then you should watch your breath instead. Leong Yu Meng, Ajahn, just by following and listening to this Dhamma asking session, I have gained and benefit a lot with the right understanding and without wrong view. Thank you, Ajahn. You're welcome. Lucy Nana Chita Sasong, hello Ajahn, greetings from Philippines. Greetings to you. Sandy Lim, good day Ajahn. Thanks so much for teaching us the Dhamma. You're welcome. Helen Lim, Good afternoon, Ajahn. May I know, is there any difference in merit when we give donation monthly instead of giving one shot, which is yearly? I thought giving in this way save our time, as no need to go and give monthly. No different really. The difference is the time and the reaping of the benefit. If you do it right away, one shot, you reap the benefit right away. If you divide up into 12 parts, then you slowly receiving the merit 1/12 at a time. So yes, if you can do it right now, do it, because you don't know when you're gonna die. So it's better to do all one at one time if you can. If there's no need for you to keep this possession, then just give it all up, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Sapru Chai, Namaskar Ajahn. Thank you. Sammy Riachi, do you have advice for someone suffering from panic attacks? Mindfulness. Recite a mantra. When you have any attack, when your mind become abnormal, keep reciting the mantra or keep chanting until your mind will come back to normal again. Pauline soon, what is the good karma bring me become a monk? Become a monk can bring you nibbana. When you are a monk, you have the time to practice to reach nibbana, easier than being a lay person. Chinese character, thank you Ajahn. Eli Hassan, thank you Ajahn for the teaching. We'll keep on practicing for the meantime. Please all stay safe and see you all again next Dhamma sharing. Okay, I think we have only about 3 more minutes left. So I have to ask you to stop sending in your question if you haven't yet sent them in. You have to do it the next time. I'll try to clear the rest of the comment and question here in about 3 minutes time. Pauling soon, how long gaining right thought view to bring understanding? Right away. When you have right thought, right view, you have right understanding. How to not involve the concept world. Go live as a monk, go live in seclusion alone in the forest. Chi Chin Chua, dearest Ajahn, I want to learn how to meditate, but I cannot focus on my breathing. What can I do to have more focused and mindful? You have to be mindful all the time before you meditate. You have to be mindful from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, by focusing on your body movement or by reciting the mantra all the time. Then you will have mindfulness strong enough. When you meditate, you will be able to meditate by watching your breath. Pauling soon, can somebody, he or she, going to die? I don't know. Sometimes they can. Like the doctor sometimes can tell the patient that you only have 6 weeks or 6 months to live. But it's not certain. Sometimes it might not happen. Sometimes it happens. Rajiv Gupta, thanks Ajahn for your answer. Next question is, since my breath is irregular, so there are much gaps between my breath. So what should I observe during those gaps? Since breath is not present in the gap between the breath. Just watch the gap. Just watch the gap, the gaps. Yeah. When there's no breath, just watch the gap instead. Just stay at the same point, at the same place. Just watching the gaps and the breath that comes and goes. Don't have to do anything. If you find watching your breath is not good at first, difficult, maybe you should use a mantra first, or do some chanting, recite some Pali words like Itipiso Bhagava, reciting the qualities of the triple gems for a while until your mind becomes more mindful and your mind becomes calmer. Then maybe your breath will be more regular afterwards. Then you can watch your breath. If you want to keep watching your breath, just watch your breath. Whether there's breath or not, it's not important. Just keep watching. Watching both the breath and the gaps. Chi Chin Chuan. Can reading sutta allow consider focusing? Yes, but to meditate, to calm your mind, you want to read it silently in your mind better. But when you first start, you can read the sutta aloud first, and try to memorize it in your mind and close your mind, and then recite it in your mind. This is like using a mantra. Punnamithan. Monday, my elder brother has kidney cancer, and I chant Metta Sutta and Bhotanga Sutta regularly. My Christian friend told me off. It will not help my brother, and chanting will only deteriorate his condition, because what I chant you is evil. Due to my refusal to listen to her, our friendship started to change a lot, especially her attitude. She finds fault with me over minor issues. Please advise. I appreciate the advice very much. Thank you. Chanting does not help or hurt the person who is sick. But if the person who is sick do the chanting himself or herself, then her mind or his mind will be calm and peaceful and will not be hurt by the sickness. So if you want to help the sick person, you have to tell the sick person to do the chanting himself or herself. You cannot help them to calm their mind. They have to calm their own mind by chanting or reciting the sutta or do the meditation themselves. But what you do does not help or hurt them in any way. And as far as your friend is concerned, just ignore her. Don't react to her. Let she say what she wants to say. Let she think whatever she wants to think. And try to maintain good relationship with her regardless of whatever she say or do. You have to forgive her for not understanding. Falling soon. All the time I practice stuck at stage calmness, emptiness. One pointed concentration, how to go one step ahead. When you come out of your meditation, then you should study everything, investigate to see that everything is impermanent. Everything has no self in them. Everything are natural phenomena. If you cling to them, if you want them to be something else, then you will have dukkha because they will not conform to your wishes. Falling soon, meaning cause and effect, cause and condition. They are pairs of action and result. See? When you say something, then whatever you say can bring back good or bad result to you. If you lie, you have people being disrespectful of you or not believing in you. If you tell the truth, then people will believe in you. So this cause and effect. What you do and the result from what you do. Edigan, Satu, keep mature. Satu. Rajiv Gupta, dear Ajahn, when I try to observe whether my thoughts are arising or not, like awareness of thought, I can do that for some time. Mind becomes slightly tense, like seriously looking if there is any thought arising. This I can do for some time, and then my mind becomes slightly calm, but I am not able to develop concentration using my breath. So what is better? Should I be aware of my thought or my breath to develop my concentration? Thanks. You just have to try them out, compare them, which one is better for you. Pauline soon. Thank you very much, Sadhu Ajahn, for beautiful Dhamma. Lucy, Dana, Chitta, Sadhu, Augustine, Florio, good to see you, Tanajan. Thank you very much for giving us your time and your teaching. Sadhu, Sadhu. Celestino, Sadhu Ajahn, thanks for your time and teaching. You're welcome. Beating, Sadhu, Sadhu. Gerard Louis, Sadhu, Sadhu. Okay, we have come to the end of this meeting. Thank you very much for joining us. And I hope that you can benefit from this meeting somewhat and use it to help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please be safe, be mindful, and keep on practicing the Dhamma, so that one day you will then realize the fruit of the Dhamma teaching. So if everything is okay, I will see you again next week at about the same time or maybe later. Thank you and goodbye.